People are so obsessed with proving that the ancient Greek inventor Archimedes actually created a death ray to incinerate enemy ships that Mythbusters has had to debunk the claim 3 times, once at the request of a sitting president. A couple in India is suing their son and daughter-in-law for $650,000 in damages over not providing them with grandchildren. The couple says that it's been 6 years since they paid for a lavish wedding. So the couple needs to produce a grandchild or pay up. Argan oil, commonly found in beauty products, comes from the nuts of the argania tree in Morocco. Originally, tree-climbing goats would eat the nuts while feasting on the tree's fruit. Unable to digest the nuts, they would excrete them, making them soft enough to easily extract the oil. Now, many companies insist their argan oil is goat-free and harvested by hand. The ancient Romans considered May to be an unlucky time to get married. Some historians believe it was because the festival of Lemuria was held in May, which paid tribute to the dead. Today, peak wedding season begins in May. May never begins or ends on the same day of the week as any other month in any given year. The same is true for the first day of June. The black mailbox, which is now white, is located along the so-called extraterrestrial highway on State Route 375 in Nevada, and attached to the mailbox of a local rancher. It's a popular meetup spot for alien enthusiasts who use it to drop off letters to aliens. Jeff Daniels was only paid $50,000 for the movie Dumb and Dumber. Jim Carrey was paid $7 million. The Hawaiian pizza was invented in Canada, and is the most popular pizza in Australia, accounting for 15% of pizza sales. The production company behind Shark Tank used to require contestants to give them 5% equity or 2% of the profits from their companies in exchange for appearing on the show. Mark Cuban threatened to quit over this rule, so producers got rid of it. Until 1930, Brazil was actually called the United States of Brazil. That means that until relatively recently, there was a USA and a USB in the American continent. One north, one south. In 2001, India started building roads that hold together using polymer glues made from shredded plastic wastes. These plastic roads have developed no potholes and cracks after years of use, and they are cheaper to build. As of 2016, there are more than 21,000 miles of plastic roads. In 1999, Harvard physicist Lena Howe was able to slow down light to 17 meters per second, and in 2001, was able to stop light completely. It is estimated that approximately 70% of people at some point in their life will experience imposter syndrome, where they don't believe that they deserve their success and are worried about being found out as a fraud. A study shows that smokers have been found to be more successful at quitting smoking when they go cold turkey, sudden abstinence, as opposed to gradually cutting back. A proposed nation on a space station called Asgardia is now accepting applications for future citizens. The PayPal Mafia. The original group of PayPal founders and employees who have gone on to become one of the most successful groups of individuals in the world. The portfolio of companies they've founded includes Tesla, YouTube, SpaceX, LinkedIn, Yelp, and Founders Fund, to name a few. A woman was successfully diagnosed in 1984 of brain tumor, after she began hearing unknown voices in her head that told her she needed to have a brain scan. Johnny Depp paid a tech company hundreds of thousands of dollars for years to feed him his lines through an earpiece, so he no longer needed to memorize them. The liver is the only human internal organ capable of natural regeneration of lost tissue. As little as 25% of a liver can regenerate into a whole liver. If we could power a smartphone with gasoline, one drop of it has enough energy to run the phone for an entire day. A gallon of gasoline would last for 20 years. The Fearless Girl statue, that's famous for standing up to the bull on Wall Street, was commissioned by an investments firm, State Street Global Advisors, which holds $2.8 trillion in assets. The statue was to advertise a new investment fund they were offering. On August 9, 1965, Singapore was expelled from Malaysia, and becomes the only country to date to gain independence unwillingly. There's a festival in India and Nepal, solely to thanking dogs for their loyalty and friendship. In ancient Greece, it was considered rude not to offer guests a bath and clean clothes when they arrived. The chemical thioacetone is the world's smelliest substance. It's so bad that, after a lab technician dropped a vial of it, it induced instant vomiting from people in buildings almost half a mile away. Tim Fried has received 160 snake bites in 16 years. This has made his body to develop a natural immune response and generate high levels of antibodies to fight the snake venom. He even survived the bite of black mamba, one of the most venomous snakes. Men will wait an average of 11 days to hear back from a love interest before calling it quits, while women will wait 7 days. When we see extremely adorable things, our brains get overwhelmed with all the cuteness and produce a reaction called cute aggression. That's when we use aggressive language to say we want to squeeze, smush, or snuggle something really hard. Luckily, saying it relieves us of our desire to actually harm creatures with our cutties.